Hi there, it's Bob here again, and I'm going to be talking about stories. But not telling you a story per se. This is about your story, my story, all of our stories, the stories of our past. And why do I talk about the past? Where normally I would like to focus on the present and developing goals and stuff and strategies for the future. But why the past? Well, if you look at yourself and you look at what you do every single day, your behavior comes from the beliefs created in the past that creates the story around it. And even the stories that you remember about the past, they change constantly. And this is based on new information coming into you, because we're constantly learning new things all the time. Even getting bits of stuff from a television show that we may have seen, and it may have even be related to the past. It'll be coming in new beliefs. It'll come in a lot of different areas. What typically happens, and I'm going to get a little bit in terms of memory. So what happens with memory? Memory, every time you remember something, you take it from the long term and you bring it to the short term memory. And then a new belief may have been a little bit coming into that new short-term memory, and I call it a new short-term memory, even though it's probably in the past, but it's new because you recreated something. Our memories are not like a freaking video camera. It doesn't work that way. Our memories are taken from a lot of different areas within our brain, and even the emotional moments when we remember something at that time. I'm not talking about the past. I'm talking about in the present. If you remember something and you have an emotional something that attaches to it, well, it's going to change that memory as well. Again, our memories are not like a video camera. It's not like when you see a movie or TV show and then the person will reminisce back to the past and it comes up like a movie or something. Well, that's not the way a memory works. Memory constantly changes. So again, every time you remember something, it changes. And the more times you remember something, it'll have changed so many times that when you go back to the actual event, and if you had a video of that, it's going to be completely different than the way you remember it. Because I've experienced that, even from videos that I've done of myself in the past, and pictures and so forth. So again, and I'm talking about your memory. So when it comes to your short-term memory, and then you create a new one, then you send it back to your long-term memory. Then you have a new long-term memory. Then it comes back and you create a new memory. So it goes back and forth like that. That's part of the whole story thing. That story and the beliefs that you have just wound up inside of it create the behavior and the actions in the present. And by the way, you can create stories to your future too. So it's not just in the past, it's also in the future, because you're creating a new story for something that's not even happening yet. And that, again, is the way the brain works. And this is the reason it's really effective for goals that are clear. So a very clear, precise goal is, in essence, a story that you see yourself in a future that you're moving towards. So in a sense, when you go back to the past and you're bringing in a past memory into the present, it's going to affect that future memory as well. It's going to see how you're going to see yourself in the future. So it's imperative, again, going back to the past and really understand how you can affect it. So if you're one of these people that have a blaming others and not really taking responsibility for your actions, so you're blaming somebody else for something that happened to you. You're doing it right in the present instead of in the past. Well, guess what? When you have something that same kind of thing in the past, you're now bringing it forward. You're bringing it into the present. You're reliving the emotional experience and continuing that cycle. So now you're blaming outside circumstances for what's happening to you. And you keep repeating the same patterns over and over and over again. And this happens to a lot of people. I'm not just calling you out. It's everywhere, and I see it even more now in today's world than ever before. So again, once you allow that to permeate into your mindset and that story, of being a victim or some other kind of disempowering belief is going to affect you in the present, and it's going to affect you in the future. So really the goal is to be self-aware that you have certain beliefs carried on from your past into the present, into the now, and you can change it. So if you have a disempowering belief like I just mentioned, or any other kind of disempowering belief about yourself and even about others, well, you can change it. You can change that belief and really just plug in a more empowering one, because you have the power. Again, our memories are not real. The stories of our past are not real because they're changing all the time. And your stories of your future are not real as well. But here's the really good thing, a really great thing, is that once you establish more empowering beliefs based on the stories in your past, on how you can reshape how you perceive the stories of the past and make yourself even stronger, more resilient, more powerful, and you bring it into the present, and now you can shape your future. You can reshape your life just from that simple change of putting in more empowering beliefs and getting rid of those disempowering ones. And this will shape your future. So now when you imagine a story of your future, a story, let's say, for example, 5 years from now, you can clearly see the kind of future that you want with really empowering beliefs, something really powerful that's permeating through your whole being, and you see it happening. Your behavior is going to change, and you're going to take more action, more powerful action towards that goal. And that's the reason a lot of people fail in their goals, because they don't see it, or they're not really able to see it. They may set a goal, but coming from a disempowering belief from the past. So it's really imperative that you change those beliefs, you change your story before you go after goals. Otherwise, you're just not going to get it. Change that, work on that, and write down, get out a piece of paper, be self-aware, be honest with yourself, and write down those disempowering beliefs that have held you back. And think about, for each disempowering belief that you have, and take the piece of paper, put a line down the center. So you have a disempowering belief. What is a corresponding empowering belief that you can change it to? Do that on that piece of paper, and do it all the way down, and think about how you can do that so you can change your story. And by the way, there's a webinar for basically rewriting your movie script exists, since that's what it's about taking from the past, moving into the present, into your future, about creating a new movie. So that webinar will identify and help you identify more of those disempowering beliefs that's affected your personal movie, your personal story. And once you're able to make the changes, you can end up becoming a hero in your own journey towards a much better future, and even change how you see the path to something more powerful. And you can do it. I have that belief in you. Okay? So it's been Bob Show, and don't forget to go to bobshow.com, and I'll have a little graphic coming across here for bobshow.com. And don't forget to catch the episodes, my podcast, theschooltransformation.com, and sign up for the webinar and whatever other gifts I have on those sites. So it's pretty cool. Enjoy it, and you guys rock.